It was past midnight when Daniel heard the knock. Not the kind of knock you give when you're delivering bad news, and not the kind you give when you're scared. This one was hesitant. Slow. Almost trembling. When he opened the door, she stood there, hair tangled from the wind, cheeks wet with tears, wearing nothing but an oversized sweater and a trembling, tearful smile. He hadn't seen her in 3 years. And yet, here she was, at his door, at midnight. Daniel wasn't the kind of man who got visitors at night. His life was quiet now, maybe too quiet. After the divorce, after the friends who chose sides, after the job he walked away from, he learned to live alone. Solitude had become both his punishment and his comfort. The knock at the door felt like an echo from another life. He opened it, and there stood Emily. Not Emily the stranger. Not Emily the neighbor. But Emily, the girl who once shared his dreams, his music playlists, his late-night laughter. The girl who used to draw hearts on the foggy windows of his old car. The girl who disappeared without saying goodbye. She didn't say much. Just stood there, shivering, her smile breaking under the weight of fresh tears. Emily, he said softly, almost afraid the name would scare her away. I didn't know where else to go, she whispered. Her voice was thin, frayed at the edges. I'm sorry for coming like this. Daniel hesitated. Part of him wanted to shut the door, not because he hated her, but because seeing her again hurt in ways he wasn't ready to face. But something in her eyes stopped him. That look, that quiet desperation, it was the same look she had the night she told him she couldn't stay, though back then, she never explained why. Come inside, he said finally. His voice cracked a little. The warmth of his small apartment seemed to melt some of her shivering, but not her tension. She sat on the couch, hands curled into fists, eyes fixed on the floor. Minutes passed before she spoke again. I made a mistake, she said. Leaving everything the way I did. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was protecting you. Daniel frowned. Protecting me from what? Her lips trembled. From me. She told him about the last 3 years, the choices that led her down a dark path, the people who promised love but delivered only pain, the nights she thought she wouldn't see morning. And then, the final straw, a moment tonight when she realized if she didn't leave, she might not survive. That he listened, torn between anger at her leaving and sorrow for the storms she had walked through alone. When she finished, she looked at him with those same tear-glass eyes and asked, Do you hate me? Daniel took a long breath. No. But I don't understand you. She gave a faint, sad smile. Then maybe, let me try to make you understand. They stayed up talking, the clock ticking past 1, then 2. Every detail she shared painted a picture he wished he could erase, the loneliness, the manipulation, the quiet moments of hope that were always crushed. She wasn't looking for pity, he realized. She was looking for something far rarer. Forgiveness. At one point, she asked if he still had the old guitar they used to sing with. He did. She held it like it was the only thing in the world that still remembered her. Her hands trembled as she strummed a few chords, and then she sang, softly, brokenly, the song they wrote together the night they promised they'd never let go. When the last chord faded, so did the walls Daniel had built around himself. Emily, he said quietly, I can't pretend the past didn't happen. But if you're here to start over, if you're here because you truly want to change, I'm not going to turn you away. She bit her lip, holding back another wave of tears. I don't need you to fix me. I just need to know I'm not alone anymore. He nodded. Then you're not. The rest of the night wasn't about romance or old promises. It was about two people, broken in different ways, choosing not to let the darkness win. He gave her a blanket and a pillow, but she didn't sleep much. Neither did he. By morning, the first light slipped through the curtains, painting the room in soft gold. She stood at the window, looking out at a world that, for the first time in years, didn't feel so cold. When she turned to him, her smile was still tearful, but this time, it wasn't a mask. It was hope. Sometimes, the people who leave don't come back. But sometimes, they do. And when they knock on your door, they're not asking you to erase the past, they're asking you to believe that the future can still be different.